Okay, a little bonus video on a Thursday night. So, kind of looking at the option market for tomorrow, and I got few trades that are going to expire and they're in the money. So, if we look at the option tracking spreadsheet here, real quick, I have these four right here, and the double leverage Tesla and the NVDL. If I get assigned these at these prices, I'm okay. I'll just do cover calls with these. So both of those are NVDL is at 95.14 and my strike price is 95, and the TSLL is at 13 and my strike price is at 13. So very possible I could get assigned both of those tomorrow. If they hover right around that price for most of the day, I should be able to close those and still make a profit, even if they're like right at the strike price. So I haven't decided what to do yet. And tomorrow I'm going to be busy all day, so I won't be able to babysit this and keep an eye on it. But the two that are more concerning are these Robinhood here, 2 cover calls, and I got 2 contracts here and 3 here. And if you look here, I got 42,500 in collateral tied up in these shares. So that was a mistake, having that many cash card puts on Robinhood and tying up that much money, because my only choice, since I were assigned these, is to do cover calls. And at times my base is being at 99, and at one time it was over 100, but I did buy 100 more shares of Robinhood when it was like down in the 70s to bring my bases down. So let's just say my base is at 100, but I did these cover calls at 85, not thinking that Robinhood would go higher than 85, which breaks my rule. It was at 74 when I did the cover calls, and it went up to like 90 right now. So it's 92.23. So quite a bit above my strike price, 85. So even if Robinhood has a down day tomorrow, it would have to go down almost like 8 or 9% to fall below my strike price. Today it went up almost 7%, and after hours it's up a little bit more. So I'm going to go with the assumption that I'm going to get the shares taken away from me. And I have a couple of things I could do. So one, sit and do nothing, let the shares get taken away and sell these for $85 per share, which means I'm selling them for $14, $15 less than what I basically paid for them. So that's $1,500 per contract. I got 5 contracts. So what's the math? It's quite a bit, enough to kind of make me squirm a little bit. So I could roll these forward. So let's look at this here for a minute. Okay, so this is, I went to the contract. I'm looking at rolling it forward. So I'm basically looking at buying to close, my 2 contracts. And then I'm looking at sell to open 2 contracts, same strike price for July 17th. So roll it forward 1 month, be almost approximately like 5 weeks, just about. And so do I want to do that and stay at 85 strike price? Well, I don't know. What I could do though is bump my strike price up to 90, and I still get a credit, $200 per contract, so $400 contract. But then my new strike price is at 90. So later, if I get my shares taken away at 90, I'm losing like $9 per share and not 15. And in the meantime, I'm making $400. And then also, if the price of Robinhood comes down a couple bucks, and I might end up keeping these, then everything would be hunky dory. So I have that there I could do, or I could let these be taken away from me and then do cash secured puts at 85 and see if I can get those assigned back to me at $85. So this is what that would look like. So I would do nothing. Shares get taken away from me. Let's just assume this price stays around 92, and I probably would not be able to do this till Monday. And then Monday I would do 2 cash secured puts. I would make $900 on the cash secured puts, 85 strike price, July 17th. So if the price went back down to 85 or below and ended up there on July 17th, I would get those shares back at 85. So basically I'd be back in it for, same amount I have invested, but I'll make $900 in the meantime. So basically, the math comes out to be about the same. But if the price takes off and runs up, then, kind of miss out on that. So either way, I'm kind of stuck. So option 3 would be I let these get taken away and this 42,000 becomes cash, and then I can just start doing cash accrued puts on a variety of other things and not make the same mistake of putting too many cash accrued puts in one ETF or one stock. So I could do that too. The only way I'll go more than, like, let's say 10,000 one stock or one ETF is probably with an index fund. However, I do have 8 contracts of TSLL, Tesla double leverage. I usually only do 5 for this one. Here I got 8, $10,000. That's kind of more than what I usually do. But anyhow, like TQQQ, I got 2 contracts here at 70. So what I could do, since I have this Robinhood in 2 separate accounts, I could let one contract expire and sell the shares at 85 and keep a couple contracts and roll those forward. I could do that. I could do combination of 3 things. I could let one expire and just take the cash back out of it. I could do cash accrued puts on 2 of the contracts that expire, and I could roll 2 of them forward, or I could do a combination of anything. So I got 5 contracts I can play with. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do a combination. I think I'm going to let 2 of these go back into cash and just kind of cut my losses on 2 of them. So that'd be like a $3,000 loss. I think I might roll 2 of them forward at the $90 strike price. And I might let the third one expire also and do cash accrued puts on there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll just to make it easier for this account here, I'll roll these 2 forward at 90 strike price. I'll let these 3 here expire. And with $8,500 of this, I'll do 1 cash accrued put at 85 strike price. And I'm just going to let the other 2 become cash, I think, and then use that money, do cash accrued puts on other things, and just kind of cut my losses and just say, shouldn't have done that. Now, I got till tomorrow closing to decide that. Now, the price of the stock could do something goofy tomorrow. It could like drop way back down below 85 and like nothing matters. I'll just be sitting here in the same boat that I've been sitting at. Or, that might not be too bad, because then if it drops below 85, I could do cover calls at 90 or 95 then. That would be ideal. I just keep doing cover calls, keep going $5 higher in the strike price every few weeks. And if Robinhood keeps climbing upward, just keep doing that until it gets up to a certain point and, either keep the shares and profit from it or let them get taken away at some time. But I keep telling myself and everybody else, this whole bucket of money is to generate option income, not to try to time the market and let my shares appreciate. I got other buckets of money for growth and a bucket of money for income funds and dividends. This is my option income bucket. So all kinds of choices. So anyhow, you tune in Friday night, 24 hours from now, or Saturday whenever I do the next video, and you'll see what I end up doing. So tune in for my next video and we'll see what happens.